understand it's all planning. As a man, I can't give in. Nevertheless, I'm going on and on. I've been thinking, yes, I understand it's all planning. As a man, I can't give in. Nevertheless, I'm going on and on. I've been thinking maybe I deserve it. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man. I deserve it. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I've been feeling like the motherfucking man. With us though, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just gonna have to just go like that. But
hey, we just going this morning.
Yeah,
we just going.
It has to.
We just moving forward. That's all that matters. You feel me?
No disrespect, but I hope church don't pop off. We in the building and they be doing different kind of churches and shit like that.
The most.
Y'all probably seen the last one, the last off top. But what's up, world? Thank you once again for tuning in to the OffTop Pod, where we discuss black thought off the top, no hezzy, no remorse. It's your boy 100 Miles Young, and I got my man Tyler Tesla over here. What's good, G?
What's good? What's good, man?
Shit, over here, hold on. I gotta let y'all know. This nigga Tyler hit me up this morning like, yo, nigga, you need some Starbucks, nigga?
You want
I'm
some
like,
Starbucks?
I'm like, yeah, man, grab me a little something. And this nigga like, say less, I got you. And he
Starb
gives
easy.
me say the name again.
It is a iced matcha latte.
Ice matcha latte.
Iced matcha tea latte.
And it's green as hell.
Green
I usually
as
don't
hell.
drink cold shit in the morning, but this ain't bad. This is like a little breakfast drink, I guess. And the top is about to come off. I was going green all over this mall. Yeah, I would have been mad at you. Got the ice, matcha, latte, naka.
Mine is gone.
Seaweed.
Mine is gone.
Banged his.
I be drinking mine like water, so.
Well, every time I drink it, my mind get to thinking like, what is that? What is in this? Is it sea moss? Is it? Nigga,
Hey, sea moss will probably be fire, low key.
I got some sea moss like
I'm about to do that.
I got some yeah. I got some sea moss droplets. It'll probably bang with that, of course, even more. But the droplets don't even taste that bad. It's kind of sweet. It ain't even like mine's got like sea moss and black seed, so I think the sea moss equals out the black seed taste because everybody know that black seed probably tastes like if I was in a big ass truck, a strong truck, and you know how they be squealing the tires like
yeah.
if a tire squirted like squeal like and it left black residue.
That's
if you
black seed oil.
If you went over to the residue and like that's black seed oil, nigga. I guarantee you.
Just burnt rubber, like, I can see that, but
yeah, man. So
that's how you know it's good for you.
Episode 5, we in this thing. We're hoping that these clips and these messages kind of like cover you guys in a way that allows you to be more positive or think lighter on your feet, knowing that you're not by yourself. That's the whole synopsis of the pod. We just want to connect with people. So we just want to thank y'all for rocking with us so far. All 12 of you who've been listening. And
shout out to the 12.
You know, the super 12, you know what I'm saying? But today, we don't got too much on the agenda, but we're going to let it grow and do what it do. And who knows how that can go. First off, we're going to talk about surface level news. You know how we do. So,
I mean,
what do you got anything before I start? I got a little list over here, but what's been on your mind? First of all, how are you? How you been doing, bro?
Well, I mean, this episode is going to be real off the top. Just because one of the subjects I was going to bring, you know what I mean? I'm like, let me hold off on that. I kind of want to, sit with it a little bit more.
Right.
But I've been feeling pretty good.
Right.
I kind of just been handling business lately, kind of just been locked in. The year is kind of coming to a close. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I'm kind of putting the finishing touches on what I've been building this year, which is, I guess, myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of going through those, those finishing touches, those last minute dotting the I's and, crossing the T's a little bit and that stuff. So I'm kind of
Right. It's that time.
Yeah, I'm kind of going through that right now, kind of just reflecting, you know what I mean, on what the year was, what the year has been, what I've learned, what I've gained. And it's just kind of, it's an interesting space to be in. But I kind of been handling business. I've been feeling good about myself, the way I've been handling things lately. And yeah. Word. So I'm building off of that good feeling and just looking to end the year with a bang, you know what I mean, and keep on moving forward.
Hell yeah, that's ideal, man. For myself, this year has been, what's the word? Tumultuous. How you say it?
Like, tumultuous.
Like, for real, like, It started off like basically was good, and then as soon as I was like, "What's up, fam?" and I sat down, it was like, "Psych." It's kind of what it did to me at the top of the year, and I've been talking about it a little bit on the podcast. I do that on purpose, though. I don't want y'all to see us just because we're on the screen right now, acting like we got our shit together.
Yeah, ain't no perfect poise at all.
Yeah, I'm not perfect, Patty.
Yeah,
but no, like real talk. A lot of podcasting I'm seeing right now, and it's just seeming like everybody is glamorizing their opinions, and I know that the game is getting oversaturated, and I feared that coming in. But at the end of the day, being genuine is the main goal. So I believe that genuosity will transfer on screen, on topics. And the year, like I said, it started off okay. Then it just kind of got taken away from me, like a lot of the positive shit I was thinking. And I had to go through a dark time. And I'm on my way back up now. Like, I'm literally back up to the top. Finna slide on down. And I want to thank you for being an organizer in my world this year. I won't forget, we was in Vegas, bro, and you hit me. And I shouldn't have been in Vegas at the time. I didn't need to spend the money. I didn't need to do all that shit. But I did that because I needed a break from what was going on. And then within that break, this bloomed. The idea was spawned, and we executed it as soon as I got back.
Man.
And this has been good for me. I'm not always on time. I can't always do it on specific days. But I appreciate you working with me, bro, because just a few clips that we put out shows that we can garner attention and also create like topics that people can relate to.
Nah, man, just a couple clips we put out, it kind of shows now people want to hear more.
Yeah, they do.
That's the main thing that's kind of been said. And man, this project for me has just been, I feel like my wings done opened up creatively. You know what I mean?
Another avenue.
Like, seriously. And it's kind of the reason why I wanted to do it. One thing I've known about you for years is like you will jump off the deep end on an idea. And,
I sure will.
And I'm the same way. And it's not that I haven't experienced it before, but I haven't experienced this level of two people really being creative daredevils, so to speak. Because I like to, I don't know if I think of myself that way, but I've kind of realized that like I'm not too scared to just try something that's just completely outside the norm of what I'm accustomed to. And you being the same way just makes this thing special, bro.
That's literally in my nature. You know, I don't know if y'all in the zodiac shit, but like I'm a Scorpio. I love to talk about anything that we're not supposed to. I like to talk about all the shit underneath the rug, all this, because to me, like I was just telling my wife, like I'm just so attracted to the truth.
Right.
It could be a horrible truth, but I'm the type to not want to live in no reality that doesn't basically give way or give space for these things to occur, because our life in this existence that we walking on, like right now, is like literally it's a catch-22. It's all the great shit and it's all the bullshit at the same time, and I like to expound on all of that type of shit so that we can understand that two things can be right.
Right.
Two things can be right, you know, that are opposing. They could be right and they can exist in this space. And that's what I feel like we do every time we come in here and we get to chopping it up, because your perspective is not mine.
Right.
Nigga, I don't feel like you sometimes, and you do not feel like me sometimes. But like you said, our ability to be vulnerable and able to jump off the deep end on topics and not hold back, I definitely ain't. This is like something I've been doing all my life. I never thought to even do it. So us both in a new space. We met through music, but now here we are talking in front of mics with no music in the background.
Right.
Like, unless the shit you hear from us, because it's definitely from us.
Right. But music
you know,
is a small piece of the pie when it comes down to this creative project. You know what I mean?
Yelling on a mic on the stage, and then here I'm trying to get the hell up out of there. That's my style. Yeah, we done. Let's get up out of here. Let's go to the crib. I don't like people like that, but let's see. So as of right now, though, I'm good overall. Glad to see you doing well. Let me go ahead and make sure I mark this thing off right here that we did. You can cut this little time, and it's not working, so I just look at this something different. So right now in today's world, it's a few different things going on. Briefly, we're going to touch on a couple topics that are like ruling the news. We haven't said anything about Israel and the Palestine kind of like conflict.
Very true.
Do you have any thoughts? We're not going to go. Because that ain't what we're here for.
Right.
But we have to acknowledge the things that are going on around us while we're in this blessed position to be doing this, while people are over there sitting and getting bombed and shit. Like, what do you think? What's your perspective on everything right now? Are you limited to knowing the information? Are you kind of like full in? Or because it's all is okay. It's a lot of news out here. So, what do you think about what's going on?
So what I'll say is this. I'm not incredibly informed about it. I've kept tabs on it somewhat, not because I don't care, but there's so much misinformation out there. I'm not fully informed on it, so I've been reluctant to speak on it.
Right.
What I will say is I think that one of our major flaws that we have as people is that we really don't value human life until it's gone. And with this scenario, I think that's what's brought everybody's attention to it, is the loss of life. But it's like, where is that same concern, that same love, that same empathy when people are just existing as is?
They killing kids, they killing women, they killing.
You know what I mean?
Fam, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's 2023, and back in the day when there was no internet, not saying it was okay, but you felt it less because you couldn't see it. And now it looks completely unacceptable.
Right.
In this day and age, to know that we have 4K cameras and drones and satellite technology, and yet we still doing barbaric ass shit.
And it's like, how much of this stuff has happened with no cameras present? You know what I mean?
The shit that we seen that with the cameras on is 10 times worse without the cameras, and that's what I'm saying. Like right now, they saying Hamas is like a terrorist group. This is not us subscribing to either side. What side I'm on is the fact that killing human beings in any capacity, in groups, in masses, like, it's just fucking nuts. It's nuts to do that. And these people are like in a prison area. They can't leave the airspace. They basically like I forgot what they called it, but it's like a prison.
Like a concentration camp.
Yeah. And I just feel like, just like I said, I seen some clips of some little kids like arms blown off, and I got kids now, so I just imagine, nigga, listen, if anything ever happened to my babies in such a way, people who I've done right, who love me, is going to have to peel me off the floor or peel me off somebody or something like that. And I just hope that people are strong enough, because I'm pretty cool, but at the same time, like, when you mess with minds.
Right.
And to know that you feel like the government ain't helping you, or to feel like the world is helping your oppressors, is even worse. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really cool with knowing America be sending like weaponry over there, and I just don't understand how we so caught up in everybody else's shit when we got homelessness here, kids that need help here. I ain't gonna go. But I had to make sure we just touched on it, because, prayers out to all the people that's affected by war and just foolishness and evilness that's in the world today.
And then it's like, we have to learn how to be grateful for life without, putting ourselves in someone else's scenario. You know what I mean? They're dealing with a completely different lifestyle over there, so we should be grateful for the life we got. It's like, we should be grateful for the life we got regardless.
Yeah, we should.
You know what I mean? Not because of what someone else is having to deal with in another place in the world in different circumstances, but it's like, because life truly is a precious thing. You know what I mean? There's people that are dying over there, but there's people that have died in a car accident yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's all the same.
We really do have to value human life completely different now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think that, like I said, overall, like mass killings and shit like that it's just wild. Outdated, it's petty, it's stupid. But we're gonna move on. Let's see. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sinusy like a mug. But so more surface news. We gotta talk hoop a little bit. let's talk quickly about Harden to the Clippers.
Okay.
Success or not?
Failure.
I mean, why?
They didn't need him. Russell Westbrook was playing great. He's a great player. That's a great fit for him. Yeah. And then if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George would play like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, essentially the Clippers would be fine because they did pretty well in the playoff. I think it was the first round they had. Yeah. What, Denver or the Mavericks or somebody, and they took them to like 7 games. Like, Clippers are okay. And they got a good coach.
Team. They're a playoff squad.
Yeah.
Ty Lue, right?
They got a good coach.
I'm not a fan of Harden no more. I'm just not. I wasn't a fan when he was cooking either, Houston, because I just feel like he found a cheat code for the game. Like, the step back, that little weird step back, it's all over the world right now. Like, I'm still not a fan of it, but not just a step back, but just his manipulation of how the calls were called at that time. They've changed up, and I feel like ever since they changed the rules, his game has been exposed.
True.
I didn't calling that bullshit, but they still be calling bullshit. I be seeing people getting texts from hanging on the rim too long. Like,
it's been a lot.
If you
it's been a lot this season.
But if you if you hung on the rim and you were leaning this way and you swing and somebody's underneath you, you need to stay on so you can swing up and get your spot. Weak ass calls in the NBA right now.
I'm not going to harp on James Harden just because he's one of those players that he gets a lot of that. You know what I mean? My only thing is I'm a team player type of person, and he never has really struck me as
I'm the system
as that. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's definitely NBA players that can go from team to team and fit in great. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing to be able to see.
You put LeBron on any team. It's a playoff team.
And we're not even that he's a superstar, but there's players that are not superstars that will fit great on a different team and make an impact. Right. And that's what matters most. But James Harden, his impact always seems to be at a cost in a way.
True. Yeah. I'm gonna let you have my name on the roster, but fuck this morale up with his team. Like,
it's a cost.
That's why I'm not a fan of him, because, like I said, he doesn't do enough for me to. He don't say enough for me to feel like he's like thinking about balling. And I get the vibe that he thinks he the shit and he's just doing whatever he want to do because he gonna get the bag anyway. But it's like, nigga, we out here seeing you. You can do all that when you at home, but on the court, you don't be producing and it don't be right, and then you be fat as hell coming into camps and shit. Like, I just think that's whack, knowing the opportunity that you got as a player. Like, you know, like, people would die to have that shot.
Yeah.
And he put the work in. There's no shade, no real shade, just game shade, you know, from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, show some, like, same thing with AD. Show some fucking, show some willingness to be like, fuck this. I'm about to hoop. Don't just, whatever. I'm just sit on the sideline with my Cartiers on and just look pretty. Like, I'm like, I ain't from that era, bro. I'm from the era of nigga Mike, Magic, Vince, Kobe, T-Mac, all the, like, I came in on the tail end of the 80s shit, like, so I understand what that looked like and how it grew into the 90s game, into the 2000s game. Like, I seen all that shit, so, like, I don't really respect this type of weird shit that's going on. But another one. What you think about Wemby? Wembanyama. Is it Wembanyama or Wembanyama?
I mean, he's special.
Wemby. Have you watched him?
I've watched him a couple times. I've also seen some highlights, but I feel like he's special just because I feel like he's in the perfect environment,
right, to
really cultivate his gift, his talent.
He's in the perfect place.
He's in the perfect place, so it's just a matter of time for him. You know what I mean?
Wemby is amazing right now. Like, I don't think he's the illest basketball player ever, but he could be.
The potential is crazy.
My biggest question is just injuries. Everybody we know who's over like 6'11", they seem like they got a shorter clock. Shaq was talking about how we've seen Wemby already through Bobo.
Yeah.
And he said it was a bias. I believe so. But I do know that through insiders, they have said that Bobo just don't got that drive outside of the court that Wemby seems to have, which I understand. But at the same time, I only be seeing Bobo play for like 9 minutes and shit. I'm like, yo, when he gets in, he definitely affects the game immediately. And I've seen him do all this shit Wimby done as well too. I have seen that, but I guess to the certain clip amount, you know what I mean? Could he do it to this clip? Could he consistently do it? We don't know. But as far as I'm seeing, Wimby is he like KD and he's like KD and who would I? KD and KG. And he got a little dog in him. It's some French dog, but he got a little dog in him.
He got some dog in him. It's just time. And then the conference that he's in, I mean, he's going to end up becoming great just because of who he's going to be dealing with. Is one of the things that Uncle Shay Shay had said in a
skill.
Uncle Shay Shay, shout out to Shannon Sharp. He's the greatest. It's nothing but love for you on the OffTop Podcast, but it's something that he had said, and this was back when he was still with Skip.
Yeah, ski up. My son be doing that. He like Skip, I believe. He thinks Skip, I believe is a thing. But really? I was saying Skip, I believe. That's how he always Skip, I believe. Skip, I believe.
Say it as one word.
I was like Skip, I believe. I'm like,
that's so southern.
Go ahead.
That's so southern. But it's one thing that Shannon Sharp has said. It takes a special individual to have power and not abuse it.
Oh yeah.
I never forget him saying that.
Oh, that's real.
And it's like, that's the world we live in. There's people that are in power that will abuse that power. You know what I mean? They can use that power for good. They can use that power for bad. That's just the world we live in every single industry. So use wisdom, be careful, and keep yourself safe. Protect yourself.
Myself included. I done felt myself have a little bit too much like juice, and I got like, hey, chill the fuck out.
Get the feeling yourself.
Character should come out though. Like, hold on. What do you want to do?
Yeah. What is your character really like? Yeah.
It should come out if it's really there.
It'll expose you, man. Live your life right. So that you ain't gotta bury them skeletons in the closet. Do right by people.
I was on Twitter talking. I told
do right by people.
I told all 12 of my followers like, hey, like I do believe that if God grants you time, the most precious gift He can give you on earth, especially healthy time where you can stand up, right, speak, run, laugh, play, enjoy the moment. Mm-hmm. The more time He gives you, the more we have to face our karma.
Facts.
I really believe that. The more time He grants you, and that time, in sense, becomes a hell that I think people try to create outside of this world. But
no, people
think hell is in this world, but I think particularly like the R. Kellys and the people who have done supposedly heinous things when they get to live. Just imagine having everything and you got to sit in a cell. Imagine everything. All your memories become fantasies, and then the memories that you hold so dear become mockeries to the internet, to everything. Now that we know that you peed on somebody, Dave Chappelle can be like,
bruh.
And at a time, everybody was on the kill. Like,
right.
Like, imagine everything that you work for. Then I seen that, I got 30 years of my life. Like, fam, they replaying that now. The hardest moments of your life, the most serious moments that you have in your life,
man,
are a mockery. In this day and age, they can become a meme and shit like that. Like I know that has to feel like hell. And then somebody else that's doing what you were doing is gonna come up and take all the shit. And you gotta watch. Because it's gonna be a new R. Kelly. It's gonna be a new Diddy. It's gonna be a new everything. It's gonna keep coming.
Right.
So like, it becomes hell. It has to be an internal hell. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's definitely a cliche that's out there, creating your own heaven on earth or creating your own hell on earth.
I did.
That's real.
It's perfect segue. I didn't write this down.
Let's get into it. Off top.
I had a dream last night, and it made me come. When I woke up this morning, it made me think of like, for a black man, I want to ask you, especially for the pod, what would be your description of heaven, and what would be your description of hell? I know this kind of took a whole turn, but like this, like what would be your description of what heaven should be like? As a black man, everything that you've seen, everything you've been around, what would your description be like?
On earth?
I think I'm thinking in a sense of, being able to live and experience it, but like a utopia. Like, what would be your heaven and what would be your hell? What would you expect?
Heaven for me would be, that's a great question.
Word.
That's a great question. Simplified answer, for me, it would be perfect peace of mind. Perfect peace of mind. Everything, all of my provisions being provided, and having perfect peace of mind, being 100% at peace 24/7.
Right.
as well as truly being satisfied with life. Because that's one of the things that I kind of just been thinking about recently, and just in what's happened with this year. It's like, how do you stay satisfied with life when the main thing that happens with life is it changes? How do you consistently stay satisfied with something that's always changing? You know what I mean? How do you just be content with something that's always going to change every single day, every single week?
An answer popped up in my head immediately. That's crazy. But that
heaven on earth. So, but go ahead.
No, like that's consistently changing nonstop.
So it's like being at peace every single day, and having joy and having needs provided, because there's always something else that you're going to want. There's no end to that road.
That makes me think. That just brings me to this thought. I just had a metaphoric type of thought. Like,
go ahead.
If I'm a hamster and I am bred to run on this fucking treadmill, I'm gonna hate it in the beginning because I can't stop. If my existence was to run on this treadmill, if my existence was to purely run on this treadmill, then I have to stop and then let it hurt me and me not fulfill the existence, or B, fall in love with the process. And when you said how do you
stay satisfied
with something that's constantly changing?
Is
you have to take your ego out and stop looking for an external goal piece that's outside of the process, because if the process ain't gonna stop moving, then you have to, in essence, fall in love with training. As a boxer, you have to fall in love with training, because we fight. Sometimes we fight for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we fight for 20 minutes. Sometimes we fight 4 hours. Sometimes we fight for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Tyson. Get you in and out. But how long did he fucking train? On the days he didn't feel like waking up.
Yeah.
On the days that nobody was watching. You have to, in order for you to be able to sustain a level of peace, I think there's a certain love and a certain depth level you have to fall in love with the process of creating whatever. Peaceful life, a good household, a good creating your own legend.
Right.
I think because you become legend after you die, so people can marvel over your process.
Oh yeah, that's.
So it's the process. In my mind, it's the process, bro.
Yeah.
If I was that hamster and I fell in love, all right, I gotta run nonstop. Well, fuck it. Let me see if I can not think about getting off this bitch for 10 minutes. Boom, it starts. The growth starts. Now your fucking forearms and your paws is starting to become like so that tomorrow, the 10th minute, the 20th minute, it ain't even on your radar no more, because you already in hour 3 is when you start declining. When you used to decline in minute 4.
True.
Working out, the same thing. It's the process. People love you when you show up to the party. They love you when you take your shirt off, but they're not there for every pump.
True.
They're not there for every fucking time you couldn't do it and you failed. It's the process. That just made me feel like the process, bro.
And I think that's that's one of the best starting points of the thing too, just because it's so easy to look at the end result in the society that we live in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
End result is what we're getting fed. And Instagram is the end result.
End results are what people are addicted to. It's a different type of addiction. Yeah. You know, I just want to jump to the ending. Let's just jump to the ending.
The end result is what you can project on people when your process may be faulty.
That's
Your process may be faulty, and I feel like it's only a matter of time. If your process is faulty, just like building a house, this is something you would understand. But I can't go to the depth, but the main platform and the main frames, if they ain't done right, the house can look amazing. But if that degree is off by 10 degrees, if that is going to collapse. It's going to collapse.
But projecting that end result on the people, that's
taking pictures of the house all day.
That's something.
Hey, that's crazy.
Because when you, I don't even know if I want to go that direction.
Nigga, we can go.
But off top. Dating and
the off top button, nigga.
We definitely got to get the button.
We got to get the button. It's got to be like, no, nigga, go. It's got to say something that pushes you over the edge. Like,
go ahead.
Nah, go on, B.
Right.
Off top.
Dating and relationships. Projecting the end result onto people.
Ooh. Off top.
Where's the off? No.
Nigga, hit the button, nigga. Hey.
Dating and relationships, projecting the end result onto people.
Yeah.
We've been dating for 2 months, but you're projecting a 20-year relationship onto someone. The end result.
Right.
Because to the conversation of social media, one of the things that has happened, and I'm pretty sure you've been tempted with this, and there's a couple people that I watch, you know what I mean? It is entertaining, but relationship couples that post couples content. Yeah. They're showing that end result, that 20-year, 10-year, 15.
That's how you should do it.
We've been in this for 30-something year relationship.
Right.
People see this and will project this type of energy into their own love life, thinking this is the standard.
They ain't did the process. It takes a process to get there. Damn.
Because they're not ready to deal with the process.
Right.
That's social media.
Yeah. And that's how dangerous these podcasts can get right now.
Man.
Because I be seeing a whole lot. And I was just seeing some people talking like, I'm getting tired of these podcasts and spewing out their opinions all left and right. Because it's starting to everybody got a mega horn. That's not what I want for this podcast. I just want to have a non-biased approach towards everything, towards the experience. And you're right, though. Like, when it comes to relationships, like, I was in my relationship for a long time. High school sweethearts. We didn't get married, though. It wasn't out of me just being, like, reluctant. It was, like, my wife now, she wasn't my wife then, but the whole entire ride, she was with me. Like, nah, like, we got more shit to do, and we're locked in.
Right.
It don't matter. Like, you know how many unhappily married folk came up to me and just because they seen me and they was like, damn, it's the 20th time I seen you with her. Why the hell you ain't married? I'm about to push this pressure button on you to get married. Nigga, for what? To do like what you doing? Nigga, we're doing the work. We're doing the work. And I can tell you right now, the hard work is so done with me and mine. Like, the hard work is so done. And it comes from the time and the process. The process wasn't pretty to some people, maybe some of her loved ones, maybe somebody who's in that world or just kind of been projecting the end result on people. But so many people, like I said, they would never ask me, how y'all doing? The two of y'all. And then look at both of us. Because that's real. If y'all ain't doing too well, if you ask a couple, how y'all doing? And you look at both of them in both of their eyes, somebody's going to indicate that something ain't
right.
Yeah. Whether they say it or not, somebody's going to indicate, go ahead and tell them. And then the other person going to be like, oh, we're actually good, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to see the other person go like this while they're talking. Like, that's the body language shit I love. Like, you ain't got to say shit. Yeah. For me, it's more about, like, you can tell. And when they're doing well, though, you can tell. They both be like, they look at each other like you tell them the one thing, and like you can feel like, yeah, y'all got some shit for me. Yeah. That's what it is. And a lot of people, like you said, they project that end result just too heavily.
Because they don't want to deal with the process.
The process, first of all, to even be able to be honest with your person. I'm a Scorpio, like, so I'm open, and everybody know that Pat will say the crazy shit. He will say that shit. So I got like a shock value type thing, but it's a defensive mechanism for myself to make sure I don't gotta maintain a lie or maintain a facade. I like to pop bubbles. I hate that shit. Everybody start laughing, but now you don't need to keep asking me bullshit that make me kind of keep leading you into a way that I don't kind of like. No, I need you to know, so we ain't gotta do that shit. Don't ask me that stupid shit. I don't like that shit.
Off top, I hate it.
Yeah, like, yo, everybody, I love it. You know, I thought it was okay. I don't like it. I'm like that. I like that whole bubble. So they can be like, why? Because I got a whole plethora of reasons why. Because I'm inside of myself. I'm not doing nothing that y'all doing. I'm not thinking what y'all thinking. I'm experiencing this shit the way I experience it. And that's how it should be when it comes to relationships too. So many people with unhappy marriages was coming up to me telling me what I need to do to get to where the hell they at. But y'all in the elephant boneyard and shit. I don't want to go there. I was told to never go there. Like, I don't want to be there.
Right.
I want to be where the hell I'm trying to go. Some people be in the same car with a motherfucker on their way to two separate locations when it's only going to be one stop.
Wow.
So somebody's going to jump the fuck out. Somebody's going to jump the fuck out. And it's because of the fakeness, you know what I mean? Like you said, that it's like I was saying, it's the process. And you definitely 100% right, being that is the process. Sometimes the end process be getting projected in a wrong way. Like, stop talking about what y'all did and how great y'all are now. Talk about the times that was hard, that got you over some shit. Because somebody going to be listening like we here right now.
That's what somebody needs to hear. You know what I mean? And to that point, that's what I like about this space, this OffTop podcast, is not so much conflicting opinions or even agreeing type opinions. It's more so understanding perspective.
Yeah.
I think about it like this. I think about it like this. Okay, I understand how you think about it. You understand how I think about it. Now we have common ground, even though I'm still going to think about it the way I think about it.
Like we said in the beginning.
I understand how you think about it.
Two things can exist.
Duality.
The duality of the world and truths.
Two things can be right at the same time.
I love two things when they're right and they're completely opposing. Like I can love you, but not want to be with you. I can not like you, but I'm going to deal with you forever. How many people feel like that about their brother, about their sister, about their mother, about their father?
Because they're real feelings.
How many people deal with the latter? You know, I love you, but I don't want to be around you, and I won't. Like, all of it can be true.
Love you from a distance. These are real feelings that exist within relationships, whether they're personal relationships, intimate relationships, business relationships.
Right.
These feelings exist, and we can put on the front and act like as if they don't, but we're still going to feel them.
Yeah, some people act like they got to be either or, and that's for the cam. That's cap. It's all cap for the cam, and I'm not here for that. Danny was telling me, my wife is Danny. She told me that she wanted to get on the pod sometime. I'm like, yeah, we got to get the perfect episode though. We're gonna get this momentum going, but
yeah, we got to get her on the right episode.
Bring her in. I'm gonna be in there looking like Diddy. So what's the best thing about Pat? How does he make you happy being this motherfucker like this? I'm gonna have a little blade like this. You said what?
I'm gonna be looking y'all in your eyes like, who's the one that's unhappy here?
Who's the one? I can tell you though right now.
Who capping? Like,
I can tell you right now, it'll be Danny that would make shift maybe a little bit. But I'm so me, I'm like, nah, tell him. I'm gonna look over here because I'm gonna get my shit off, and I got reasons. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, tell him, baby. I'm gonna let him know. Like, don't get shifty. Tell him how I be getting on your nerves.
Right.
You know, some bullshit that we cutting them out.
He don't be on time. He don't organize nothing. No, man.
This nigga DJ Envy. I don't come.
He said he hate this. He hate that. Like,
cut. Baby. God damn, Jada. Jada don't be fucking telling these people I'm incompetent in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, low key, I think I figured that situation out.
What? Oh shit, Jada and Will.
Jada and Will.
What you figure out in 2023 about these niggas who tell us everything that is to be?
I figured it out, and I could be 100% wrong. I'm gonna try not to take too long with this. So
I'm with it.
So we got to keep it all the way 100. Let's go back to 2020. Let's go back to 2020, right? People don't remember Will Smith was not on social media. He was not on it. So everything about them two was just rumors, just speculation. Maybe it's true. Maybe it ain't true.
Right.
Whatever. That's not the point I'm trying to make. Think about this. Will Smith got on social media. He got on Instagram, and he owned Instagram.
In a production type of way,
his content creation was insane because he has an entire production studio
for everything he wants.
You know what I'm saying? He had the best of the best to that point, to the extent there's a rapper named Joyner Lucas who made a fucking song about him. When do rappers make songs about other people that ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Joyner, smart move. I do the same thing for one of my goats so I can align with him.
Bro, he killed it. Obviously, Will Smith, the video was incredible. Yeah. Will Smith had to get on the remix. Yeah. Killed it, right? That's how impactful his content creation was. Right. It reminded everybody, like, yo, in a way,
where is that nigga?
He's our new Uncle Phil. Rest in peace to the original James Avery. Yeah. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. First thing first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. J. Cole. Anyways, so Will Smith is killing content creation. What happened next? Jada Pinkett, Red Table Talk. Red Table Talk. They both created two different things. One thing had zero controversy.
You be you, and I'm going to do me.
You do you. And I'm going to do me.
And she brushed her shit. Like,
so.
I'm fucking playing.
Okay, Chris Rock.
Got it.
So he created what he created with no controversy. She creates something, and what does it have? Controversy. Mad controversy.
It basically says, go ahead and get in my bed.
Right?
Get your ass in here. I'm warm, ain't I?
We gonna look past the Oscar slap. That's just beyond the point I'm trying to make.
Damn.
Now let's jump to Will Smith's book. I read the first 4 chapters. You read the entire book. Yep. I met people that done read the book. There's nothing but raving reviews about this book. I read the first 4 chapters.
Especially the audiobook.
I didn't finish it, but it was like you were in the room with Will Smith reading this book. It's an incredible book, right? No controversy, nothing but love. Jada Pinkett Smith put out a book in 2023.
Yeah, it just dropped.
Controversy.
A few weeks ago.
Controversy.
Right.
Will Smith has the ability to be creative without controversy. When you think about Tupac, and this is all I'm going to say about Tupac, Shout out to the GOAT. Rest in peace.
Forever, nigga. Anyway, go ahead.
One of my faves, his relationship with Jada. Tupac was unbelievably talented, unbelievably creative, but also was controversial. But also, at what age did Tupac die? At like
25.
25? He didn't,
so.
In a way, and it's not to disrespect him, he never reached full maturity. And I think at a level of full maturity, you know how to balance creativity and controversy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you younger, you kind of...
You say at a level of maturity?
At a level of maturity.
Because it can be earlier, but it's a level of maturity that's got to hit.
It just kind of depends. When you think about Kanye West, when he first got famous, unbelievably creative still is, but also slightly controversial. Right. And as his career has progressed, what has happened? A little more...
That nigga went to space. He's gone.
A little more controversial. Creativity is kind of, okay.
More controversy than art.
You know what I mean? And when we look at Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, I think that's the thing that he understands about his wife. He can be creative without all the controversy. He has the maturity for it, or we'll just word it that way. But
I think it's a part of his brand, though, to veer away from controversy.
But Jada Pinkett is something different.
Yeah, she fell off and she needed something, and controversy is the most important spark in any kind of
and he just understands that.
Reviving situation.
Like, she has to do that, and they just happen to be married. Like, that's just who and what he married. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can't really create without the controversy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think if Jada Pinkett did anything really unique, or on some fucking Rihanna shit, or some what's the girl name from the Kardashian that was
Kim K?
No, well, I ain't gonna say Kim K.
Or Kylie?
The Kylie. Yeah, entrepreneur shit. Like, what if Jada created something that just launched her higher than she's ever been, and more into the limelight than Will? Do you think that she'd leave him? Do you think? Because right now she's always gonna be under Will, and she's not gonna say she's taking her power back, but she's taking her stance and stamping it with controversy while being with Will.
Right.
If she was more powerful than Will,
or created something,
what would she be into? What would she be doing?
I don't think she would leave him for some reason.
It's
a great question. But
I believe they got something real.
I don't think she would leave him.
But
because to that point of power, powerful people want to be around powerful people. Yeah. And it's like there's not too many people like Will Smith.
But you don't think the ego thing? Once you become more powerful to somebody who is more powerful to you and more powerful than most people, once you become more powerful to them, something in your ego-driven mind should say, it was me the whole time. The whole time I was better than everybody. It doesn't matter that I went through bullshit. It was me. Like, can't you see how it can make you be like, get all that bullshit up out of here. I don't care about that. No, it's me. And kind of ascend too high. Iman Shumpert and what's his name just kind of broke up. They got a split. And Tiana Taylor was putting out like, yo, like I've never disrespected, but he was being a little narcissistic at times. And he couldn't take that. Sometimes they wanted him to step out of the picture and have me like she was alluding to that type of stuff. Right. Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But in those kind of situations, what I'm saying is that it can draw people to kind of get ahead of themselves a little bit, you know, just that fame and that power. I think if she got a Kylie Jenner bag or Rihanna Finney bag, I think there would be a reason, she would create a reason for herself to separate. And
I still disagree.
I think she still will put another book out about the separation. And then he told me this after I told him I'm done. Can you believe this, nigga? So I had my mom over there.
And then I disagree too, because at a certain point, and obviously we're not there yet, but at a certain point, they're rich forever. So money wise, at what point in time does it even matter anymore?
Now, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're set for life. She can get whatever she want anytime she want. Like they're good. She doesn't even need to secure that. Well, Jaden?
Yeah. What you think about Jada, dog? I'm sorry. All right, this is the last. What you think about Jada? What you think about the kids?
I'm gonna say this about Jaden Smith. To rappers that don't know how to perform their songs live with a backing track and having the vocals in the backing track, Jaden Smith has a song called Icon. It's one of the songs that he's made that has made him even more famous than what he already was.
Slapperooski.
And if you want to know how to perform with your backing track going with your vocals in it, watch his performances because he does it beautifully. That's all I'm gonna say about Jaden.
I think Jaden was the perfect position the entire time to choose any lifestyle that he wanted. Something about him doesn't transpire to me like genius that he tries to push out. To me, he pushes out. It's this new age of niggas. These new niggas, right? And I'm about to sound like an old head, but it's this new Travis Scott, Jaden. Who else? It's a few. What's it? Frank Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It's this level of anonymity that they just push. I hate this shit.
You don't like it?
I hate this. I'm so different. I'm not gonna show you my whole face. I fucking hate that shit, bro. I hate that shit. I am so different. I just can't even like be in the same room with people because I'm just don't show my face. I fucking hate that shit, bro. Like I hate that shit, and I think it gets kind of construed. Even Kanye with the shit, it gets kind of construed with like the reason why I'm like this is because I'm different than all of you. I don't like when you can't relate to people or see human or the human in you inside another person when they doing their art. Who do you love? Prince. Not saying you love Prince, but people love Prince.
Right.
When he was on stage, rest in peace to the GOAT.
Rest in peace.
When he's on stage rocking, doing the guitar shit, and he's in his zone, you don't have to be able to know you don't have to know how to use the guitar or play the guitar to understand how he's in a zone. You can feel it.
Right.
And he relates to you in the kitchen when you cooking up your shit, you waiting. Just that kind of like level of like connectivity. I just don't like the level of like the hiding shit. And I'm so different. I'm so fucking different than all of you. I hate that shit.
We about to segue this. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Jaden Smith, Travis Scott, Frank Ocean. I like their music.
Right.
To that being said, I think it's interesting how this generation of artists create mystique versus the last generation.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to say it's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, to the conversation of maturity
Some
and
people think it's trash.
Creativity. I like it. I like. It's interesting how people try to create mystique and think that it actually is mysterious.
Right.
To somebody, it is mysterious. To us, it's like, nah.
I think it's generational. I think to the younger masses, you just take it, you just swallow it.
You know, because they're dealing with a different thing as far as social media too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that hiding of the face. You know what I mean? We live in social media. Once your face is out there, we doing a podcast. Our faces are out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
Travis Scott to this day, if that nigga was sitting down next to you at the airport, if he didn't have shit that said I'm Travis Scott, like diamonds, if he just had regular shit, you might just be like,
well,
you wouldn't know immediately if he didn't have an outfit on that screamed I'm rich or hopped out of a spaceship.
Bruh.
You wouldn't necessarily know Jaden Smith if he took all that shit off and just kind of sat on the corner somewhere without. I just don't. I think it's on purpose, and you're right. They're aiming for mystique. Here I go sounding old again. I just come from an era where mystique, you could tell it was natural. It was a natural mystique about people that they just carried, and that's what made them stand apart. Not this mystique first.
This fabricated mystique.
Yeah, the fakeness of it, even through the music though. Even through the music, like the whole rap. Yeah, and this is one of the topics too.
And then to that point, we got to give female artists their credit. There's an artist named Her.
Yeah.
Her. And a lot of people don't remember when she first came out, she had the mystique, bro. You actually never saw her face.
Does it the way, right.
You know what I'm saying?
But she's the way that I come from. Like even Aaliyah.
She's of the same age range.
The Aaliyah mystique of not showing you my full face all the time. Always had her hair.
Mm-hmm. She had the glasses on. Yep.
That's
the shades on.
But her music
was really
all connectivity to everything you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
These new niggas, even the music, be like, I'm different. I don't like the enunciation of rap. Man, that's a topic in itself. The new enunciation of rap has exponentially grown into such a cursive type of language. Sonic cursive is what I Young Thug's a perfect example. He came out like yo, like but when you read the lyrics, you can be like I can kind of hear how he said that, but he didn't really. He just kind of basically as an artist, and you know, some artists write in ways where they go in the studio, hit the record button, and they'll just be like, listen to the beat, and they'll come up with their cadency first, and they'll kind of mumble. I like that. And they'll play that back, and they'll just listen to it and replace that mumbling with words. That's all the process. Everybody can have their process. It's almost like these new niggas be putting out those processes as songs. Everybody sound like the cursive sounding. Everything is connected. It's no real like enunciation to clarity. It's just like even up to Pop Smoke. I like Pop Smoke. I understood it later on as you know, as he unfortunately after he died, I understand way
Rest
more.
in peace.
But just the kind of way that it's like no like clarity on making sure you know what I say. It's like nigga, I assume you do. You know it or not. That's kind of the music mainframe right now, rap wise. And
I think that's what's interesting is we talk about the music industry, we talk about artists, we can talk about cadence and the process of how we're gonna make this song. But we also have to talk about, and I think this is what's interesting, and I guess it's relevant to every single industry, especially I won't say every single industry, but the entertainment industry. I think listeners changed. And when you get into younger listeners, they're more accepting of that type of song production, that type of music than we are, because we are accustomed to Nas, Jay-Z, Pac, Biggie, where we brought the notepad to the studio, and this is what we finna say.
That's what I'm about to do, yeah.
Like these words have already been spoken, been written long before the music was decided. You can speak to this. You know what I'm saying?
Etched in stone, I'm ready to give it to you.
Versus this, I'm gonna come in the studio and I'm gonna just go off the top of my head.
We gonna fuck around and find out is what's happening.
That's a beautiful way of doing it. And shout out to the GOAT, Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne kind of owned the music industry in a way when he was doing that. And I feel like people took that inch and turned that into a mile, and that's how you end up with a Young Thug
or Young Boy.
Or a young boy, or a lot of
interview on him. He was like, these niggas are out their minds, bro.
Just, I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna smoke something. I'm gonna drink something. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna hear this beat, and I'm gonna just generate something as if the way Lil Wayne did it. And Lil Wayne was that. He was out of his mind.
I think the luckiest thing that Lil Wayne had though, because he did transform the game into that kind of.
He changed the game. He Steph Curry'd it.
The luckiest part of his world, his career, is the fact that he was born when he was. Because his base and default came from enunciation. So you can combine it later on after you lose your mind off of syrup and do all this shit. You can lose your mind and still kind of connect dots because your default base was your training base was based off of.
He got more of a foundation.
Exactly.
And then went that route versus rappers now.
These niggas is building the attic before they build the basement.
You know what I'm saying? It's a different time, different generation.
They're building with drones,
and then
top to bottom, like
list the type of their fan bases. Their listeners is like more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's next? All right. What's next? Yeah, but that shit. But
that's just off top, y'all.
Generational though, I can tell you though, like they're gonna find out that it don't last. They're gonna find out the difference because there's so many songs. There's so many songs from the 2000s. That didn't have replay value, don't have lasting value, that we was on. Like, Pop, Lock, and Drop It ain't gonna make everybody, not every single person, well, I can tell you this, the entire lyrics to the entire song is not gonna generate a whole room and a whole stadium to feel the same vibe. But like a classic song will. Maybe that wasn't the best example, but we have certain songs, chingy songs, and that we look back, we hear it now, we like, yeah, that was dope. But if you notice, I ain't rapping the whole verses, all the verses. When that hook come on, that's when I get back up and like, yeah, because it's like a show thing. And classic songs, everybody in that bitch riffing. Everybody is singing. Everybody's doing their thing, you know what I mean? And that's what they don't know. They're sacrificing, in my opinion.
But that's the beauty of
this microwave music.
That's the beauty of music to me that I'm starting to like realize and appreciate. Like every piece of music ends up having its place. and it's crazy because it's like in a stadium, nah, but at somebody's cookout, at somebody's family reunion, they're gonna be
demographic with the right. You're right. You're definitely right.
Every piece of music has its place, and then at the end of the day, the song is what 5-6 minutes long. Yeah. So it's like you get through it. Next, play that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because back in the day, I guess you're right. Back in the day, they had enough time. They had guitar breaks and lead breaks and shit like that. That was enough time for you to go to the kitchen, go make another drink, and come back in for the next verse.
I'm just saying that because, Thanksgiving just passed, and I was talking to the fam. My grandma's 80th birthday is coming up. Wow. She finna be 80. And
Shout out to grandma, yo.
They got to talking to me about DJing it, and I'm like, man, am I finna have my grandma dancing the Ice Spice? I might just do it.
Oh, I dare you go up there and play. I dare you go like this.
Because obviously she's 80. But not everybody there is finna be.
I dare you play Sexy Red and Drake. Say that and then let that
because I know my cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like my
grandma be like, hey, everybody
no. I know my family, bro. Like my family like to turn up, have a good time, and it's like my grandma 80, but not all my family young too.
If she active though, if she's still right in her mind, then yeah.
She's still active. She still move around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, am I really finna have my grandma dancing to Ice Spice? Ice Spice is dope to me. Shout out to these female artists.
Shout out to Ice Spice, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When you do the coochie swipe, I just like it. Hey,
Off top.
Ice Spice got the button.
Off top.
But like, listen, Ice Spice, you could be on mute on my TV. And I'm gonna be like this. Like she turn around, look at you, wave her booty at you like this, and then she swipe it from the back. Now I'm like this. See, that's why you made it. That's why you're at the bodega.
What is that called? The emote?
I don't know what the hell that is, but I like it when she do it. If I ever met Ice Spice, I'd be like, do the little combination. You know, I was watching the 5 Heartbeats nigga and my nigga Dresser. He said they had brought in the new the new dude to do choreography, the old dude. He's like, hit me with the best combination. I'm like, yo, Ice Spice. Let me see that combo, that coochie swipe combo that you be busting off. Shout out to Ice Spice. Shout out to Lotto, too.
Off top.
Lotto. Let me stop because my wife going to be on this podcast. Lotto, you're a great artist.
Off top. So what did you actually want to talk about today?
I got a couple different.
We done talked about everything.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Those are crazy clips, especially the music and a few of the other ones. But I got a couple questions that I know we gonna hit before we get up out of here. You said something about self-improvement.
Let's get serious.
And self-improvement project or self-worth. Well, I want you to expound a little bit more on what you meant by that.
So at one point in time, in 2023, I was sick and tired of being a self-improvement project.
What you mean?
I was tired of it, dog.
Even
like
more.
Just
2023. That was earlier in the year. Beginning of the year.
I'd say like around April, May.
Tired of being a self-improvement project.
Tired of being.
What does that mean? Go further.
Constantly working on yourself. Constantly becoming better. Like becoming better. The process. Just daily. It's like
doing things like what? What were some of the things that you like? All right, I'm about to stop or I'm about to calm down.
I'd say the inner work, the introspection, even journaling sometimes. Just because I feel like it's so. I don't know, it pulls so much out of you. You have to be so vulnerable, transparent, and honest. It's just like, man, it feels like you're just emptying yourself.
So you find out that every day you don't want to empty yourself?
Well, it's finding out like every single day. Like some days I just want to exist.
Hey, that's what I was leading to because it sounded like you just.
Some days I just want to exist versus I need to do this better. I need to be better at this. Okay, I need to stop doing that. Okay, I'm a little too impatient here. Okay, I'm a little too egotistical here. I'm a little too humble in this area. Like constantly dealing with the duality and the balance of being,
analyzing yourself.
You know what I mean?
Yep. That's That's
tired of it.
That's huge. That's interesting because, I've been really advocate of that book, Stolen Focus, and they have a portion inside the book where they were talking about how people who are in, because the book is about focus, as we've been talking about.
Right.
They should pay me for this shit, but they were talking about.
Do they do book sponsorships?
I don't know, but I would do it for that one.
Maybe.
They were talking about how the perception of being. Say I'm in class and teacher talking, and I'm just looking out the window like days and my mind is wandering. They were talking about how naturally the people say that that's a bad thing.
Right.
But they said that honestly, statistically, and through scientific processes and studies, they found out that allowing yourself that time to wonder and wander with no real direction, and that's why I'm saying it, because what you said, it's actually good for you.
Right.
Because what your mind does during that time of wondering, say I'm in a math class and I'm doing this shit and I'm listening, and then I crack. I can't do that shit no more. I look out the window, I start thinking about other shit. They said that what happens is even when you're doing homework, let your mind go, do something else, wander for a minute. In that space of time where you're not drilling a laser focus through, like as soon as you go over here, they say basically new connections happen from everything that you're thinking from different directions. Bing. And it pieces together what you've been absorbing. Bing. So basically, it's a cyclops laser. And when I close my shit like this, now other ideas come to me and stick. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that they create, I am beating this mic up today. Sometimes they create connections based off what you were processing and what you're learning in ways that wouldn't have been there if you just kept drilling through that hole. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that might be good. The reason why you're feeling like that might potentially be because your mind knows. You said something really important when you said, sometimes I just want to be. And being in this state, in this society that we're in, simply being
just
has been talked down upon.
Yeah.
Coronavirus showed us a lot that is really more important than we ever even imagined. Mm-hmm. Just being, simply being in our capitalist society. Here we go. In the capitalist society that we live in, it's frowned upon to just be for too long. I can't make my wife just be for a little bit because she is a figure and a component in this game that plays a mechanism role of just productivity. Mm-hmm. But sometimes she don't know how to stop spinning her screw. It's tight. It's on. Enjoy the structure.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes that might be my position in her world though. Because sometimes she be like, come over to me like, nigga, this is loose. Nigga, you wildin'. That's why I love the fucking balance of this shit though, bro.
Right.
Like it's the balance. Sometimes she be like, nigga, screw A, Z, T, Q, and H are major components towards this standing up as tall as you wanted to stand. Nigga, tighten them up so you can get the 2 inches so you can be as tall as you need to be as the structure is, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing in the world. We got to know how to just detune. And also as an artist though, you said I don't like to just keep self-analyzing, blah, blah, blah.
Self-analyzing, working on yourself.
It just hit me. It's the same thing about when you write music. You can't write music every fucking day. You have to stop and let the world load you up. Shit, it just hit me. It just hit me. Creativity is the same thing. Life is creativity. Like we might have to do the same shit. Might have to pin in breaks of nothing, just to keep the balance, just to keep something else to load up the clip, or else we're gonna start talking about mundane shit.
Because
for real, just like music, same thing.
And I love that part of the book because it talked about how your mind is still active, even though you're not necessarily being productive.
Subconscious takes over.
Your subconscious connects the dots of everything that you've brought into your mind.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And in those connecting of the dots, you generate something new. It's a input versus output type of thing that ends up happening. And I had just kind of got tired of I need to do just being a self-improvement project. It's one thing to just say, okay, let's paint the bathroom a different color.
Right.
But it's another thing to say, we going to paint the bathroom a different color. We going to get a new toilet. We going to get a brand new vanity. Let's get a brand new bathtub. Let's put in a brand new floor. Let's put in different lighting. Let's put in different baseboards. Right. You know what? Why don't we do that to the kitchen too? Why don't we do that to the living room too? Let's go upstairs and do that in the bedrooms too. Matter of fact, let's change these stairs out. Matter of fact, this living room, let's take out the carpet.
We want wood. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if it's just one area, but it's like when it's multiple areas, and it's like you always want to be better. You always want to improve. Me being the musician that I am, that I've been, it's like there's that constant drive to, I want to be better at this.
Right.
You know what I mean? That kind of bleeds into my natural psyche of just who and what I am. You know what I mean? I constantly want to be better. I'm not afraid of stepping outside my comfort zone and trying to become a better individual, but I got burned out on it. And fast forward to the end of the year where we're at now, November, and it's actually snowing outside. Look at that mess, man.
Right now?
Dog.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, we gonna get a clip. Don't
Hold on. Play it after this. Look at this shit.
don't worry.
Bruh.
It
was regular.
It's
This
November.
is why I'm sinuses sounding like Chucky Finster and shit like right now.
Dog. Thanksgiving was like 3 days ago. 4 days ago.
That look like Mariah Carey about to play on the radio.
Bro, we getting killed right now.
That nigga Breezy's about to drop right now. Like, oh man, that's not encouraging at all. But
not at all. But being at the end of the year, we're in November. You know what I mean? We're a month? Well, yeah, end of the year, and I'm like, I've realized the connection between being a self-improvement project and your sense of self-worth. Mm-hmm. And I'm coming to the realization that for me, that's changed into something different, because I'm like, I feel very differently about myself from having taken the time to really address where I need to be better at. Mm-hmm. Because it's one thing if it's something small that you need to improve on. It's another thing if it's something major. For me, that was, my patience level. We kind of talked about that on one of those episodes, and then discernment. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then my humility. Sometimes I'm a little bit too humble. Mm-hmm. But I realize we're going to talk about that on a whole other episode.
I could definitely I'll definitely tell your ass that.
Ego and humility.
You got way more talent in your thumb than the most niggas do in the world, bro. So even though I commend it,
I appreciate that.
I think I'm a decent balance, but I'll also be told sometimes by other creatives like, nah, nigga, a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm constantly aware of it, because I've been in rooms where I can feel that I made people uncomfortable, and I'm not even trying. Isn't it because of what they think of whatever I'm doing or some shit like that? And
their perception.
I like that shit. I just be like, talk to me normal, nigga. Like,
and you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, nothing. And
it don't matter what you say.
Everything they say to you, though.
It don't matter what you say. You can't change their perspective of what you are, of what they see about you.
No, I was at the mall yesterday, and this girl came up, and she see me and Danny, and she was like, yo, good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. I just love how y'all manifested that. I didn't know the person. I didn't know the person. Danny was like, who's that? I'm like, I don't know. And nigga, we are not famous by no means. It just that happens to me often though. I be in a lot of different places though, and I be this person. So people may be like, I remember that person, and I was just being that person, and I was there. And then they be like, remember what you? I'm like, if it was good, I'm with it though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like straight up. But
right.
Like you said, it's perception, and you can't stop how they see you. Mm-hmm. They was talking about how y'all just manifested them kids, boom, marriage, and y'all got. I'm like, y'all family. I'm like, that's what's up. And I'm glad it was a positive thing, but it can also be negative too. Somebody can be walking around like, this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you don't even know. I'm not regular as hell, bro. like you don't even know, man. It definitely be like that. I feel like when it comes to self-improvement, you said you were a little tired of the focus of it. And for me, I'm actually just a little, I'm a little annoyed with how much I can fall off on my self-improvement. I wander too much. It's where I'm from, naturally, a lot's for you to just wander all the time, wander and explore. And when I got older and I moved away from my environment that I was born in, I found out that people have to move every day. And it's been a struggle with me in my adulthood in feeling the motivation to move every day and to remember that I'm working on myself. Sometimes I don't remember I'm working on myself. Sometimes, like you said, I don't want to do anything. And I think for myself, the frequency of that is too much. But grief, all that shit we talked about before in a few other episodes, all plays a role. I got a little bit of, and I hate saying this word, but what is it? Existentialism?
Existentialism.
Yeah, the issue of, like I said, because of the people I've lost and how I lost them and who they were in my life, it just kind of created my own personal understanding of what this is, regardless of what the fuck you're trying to do. This is a limited clock that you have no clue on, so I can get stuck and just floating because I'm like, yeah, but if I don't, I get that a little more than the person who's way more productive than myself. I know it. My wife, she's super, super productive. And sometimes when I talk to her about some of this stuff, she really explains to me that she never even thinks of that. Or that they may not cross her mind once a year. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy because it's like 40, 50 times per week for me. So it lets me know my experience is different. And that's why I'm trying to hone in on creating a consistency because I need to fall in love with the process. I'm still thinking about what happened before the process, and sometimes I look at the end process, but then I get lost in the shuffle of all of it at times because I'm like, at the end of the day, what really matters? You know what I mean? I get kind of like that, and I'm combating that right now. This is a part of the mental health aspect that we're trying to connect with other people with. I would love, if you felt those feelings, I would love for y'all to drop in the comments how and when you felt those feelings and what you did to combat it. Because, nigga, I'm reading too. I'm learning too.
Right.
You might have something on there and I'm like, ooh, I'm about to try that tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And hopefully we got some of that here for y'all. But that's the kind of truth I'm talking about, though. Like, I don't really know what to do. And luckily, I'm going to be kind-hearted. I'm going to be me about it. But we're still just learning. So when it comes to self-improvement, it's just something I wish I could just fall in love with the process more.
That's interesting, though, because if your process is more along the lines of wandering, so to speak, or I won't say like that absent-mindedness, but it does give a space for that existential dread to just kind of catch up to you and stay a lot longer because you're not switching over into that gear. Yeah. You're not going back and forth so much.
It can definitely just float and lay right over the top.
Yeah.
Like you right, like a weighted blanket. Like you right. Don't get up. For what? Mm-hmm. It's warm here, and I'm gonna give you a little weight to keep you there. Hey, I'm learning something right now. Like
I've kind of dealt with that. Because when my mom first passed, that was me.
Word.
Like when my mom first passed, like the following 2 years, I was just here. Like I was not productive. I wasn't doing all this music stuff. Like I was just existing.
Right.
Like just wandering, just lost.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was working at Burger King at the time, flipping burgers. And I went to get my check.
With Janae?
Yeah.
Word. That's shout out to Janae, yo.
Shout out to Janae.
Used to go have my burger. He went to Burger King.
Yeah. Girl, you was crazy. No, I'm playing. You was cool.
Yeah, she's like, don't be talking shit.
Hey, we had some good times at Burger King, though. Anyways, I went to pick up my check, and this was like maybe like 2-3 weeks after my mom had passed. I went to go get my check, and then there was this liquor store right on MLK. Shout out to the people that know the city. There was this liquor store, and I went there to cash I went there to grab something to drink. And I grabbed something to drink, grabbed a snack or whatever, and I went up to the cash register, and I just set my stuff there. And the lady at the cash register, she was a black lady. Mm-hmm. This woman looked me dead in my face and was like, "Are you okay?" Like, I'll never forget it. I could tell, like, she was not in her mindset of, I got to do my job. I got to be this cash register. She's like, "Are you okay?" Like, she could see it, like, I'm not right. And I was just like, I just handed her my money. Like, I didn't say nothing to this woman. Everybody know me. I'm laid back and quiet.
That's unique for you to do if you didn't say nothing. Like, you didn't even let them know, like, yeah, get off me.
I didn't say
You didn't say nothing?
I didn't say nothing. I'm just like, here go my cash for what I'm buying, bro. Like, I was just on autopilot for like 2 years, just that, not like lost, but lost. I was just kind of like wandering, just that existential dread, that was life for me. I'm just like, because I felt like that's what it had to be in a way.
I'm just now getting out of my shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not even lying to you. My shit lasted over a decade while I was doing shit. That's why I feel like I could be great, because I did dope shit during. So it makes me project like what happened. That's why I'm on this healing journey right now myself.
Right.
And also, I never had the opportunity. This is where I feel most valuable. So when we was talking about just laying down and just kind of letting it gives it time to creep in.
Yes.
This is where I thrive when it comes to exchanging ideas. I've also never put myself in a position where this could benefit me. Outside of being a creative music, but they gotta like the beat. They gotta like the beat. They gotta like your delivery. They gotta like the vibe. With this is just my thoughts.
Right.
I've never put myself in position to purge myself, and while it's helping others as well. So maybe this could be the thing that can launch me over the top. But all those years before, I definitely understand that feeling. And you said 2 years. It might be longer than that, but those 2 years might have been the hardest ones for you.
Them was the hardest ones, because for me,
your productivity changed basically. You're like, all right.
After 2 years, I got a gig playing bass guitar.
Right. Okay. So that grew.
I jumped into music, and then music snapped me. Like, something about that just snapped me back to life, and I felt like I had something to like live for. So I like came alive for music. You know what I mean?
That shit happened for me for my kid. That's what it was.
It's those. I guess it kind of showed me like life goes on, and not just life, but your life. Like your specific life doesn't have to be this dread. This my mom is gone. Right. Like no, bro, you still have a life, and that's what your mom would want for you. You know what I'm saying?
What would she say?
You know what I mean? Like your mom would want you to keep on living. She would want you to still be on them stages.
I can tell you, I can confidently say I know both of us never thought we would have to play that role of that guy.
True.
Like for real. Like I particularly myself, I know for a fact. Like I said, the first 2 years after my mom passed, being from where we from, a small city, everybody knows you. Everybody knows your mom. I will never forget the looks. I could go play basketball at the center. Shout out to the King Center in Jackson, Michigan. Like I could go hoop. In the first 2 years, everybody's eyes kind of looked like how the cash register lady eyes was.
Yeah.
Everybody though, and I started to like that leaked into holidays. And I know you could probably attest for that.
Right.
The existentialism shit popped in because it's like, for what? Like, this ain't even the same. So it made me withdraw a whole lot. I started smoking. I wasn't a smoker naturally. Most people I know that been smoking since they was teens. And I didn't smoke or drink when I was a teen like that.
Right. After
I got out and started working and living life, I started being like, nigga, I need a break. But I do believe, like I said, there was a haze. I call it the haze. It's a period of time where people who didn't smoke, that they fall into after they start smoking,
right? That
other people can start seeing you smoke. They can start seeing that, the ones who be like, I cannot eat without smoking. Like, though that to me, that's a haze period.
That lifestyle change where it's like,
yeah, where you start relying on other things to kind of generate your regular thing. And for me, I had a haze of like 8 years, dog. Still producing shit, but definitely not max potential.
Right.
Because now, like I said, during this healing process that I'm on now, I feel like, yo, if I had a level of focus that I'm tapping into now, then, oh my God, like, I'm really just now getting to the point where finding out how much that shit has hindered. And that's why I think this podcast for us both is really going to be good because, like I said, for those who have lost people and it's affected them, to know that people are still going through the same type of shit in different directions, man, that's all I want. I swear to God.
Yeah, man. Because in a way, you kind of have to. It's one of the things I heard recently. I think it was Kirk Franklin that had mentioned it. Yep. And I'm pretty sure it's been said in other ways too. But having to win while you're wounded.
Right.
You know what I mean? Having to be successful when you are not showing up as the best version of yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? You showing up with all types of bandages and injuries, and you still have to, you playing on a broken leg.
It's hard for me to do that during photography sessions. Because you got to be poppy. Some days I don't feel like fucking talking to nobody. And I got a family to do. And they got a kid. They got 2 little kids and blah, blah, blah. And I got to put this fake-ass smile on and generate what I need. Not fake, but I got to basically push myself into the energy. I'll say that. Push myself into the energy that they require to make this session viewable on the other side after the work. You know what I mean?
No, I feel that way, too, just from some of the jobs that I've had working in the trades, like days where I feel like I'm at 75%, but I got to bump myself up to 100% because that's what's required to get things done. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I won't say that it's just restricted to men, but I feel like that's a part of manhood in a way. Yeah. Because I look like I think about like if I didn't have that quality, if I wasn't able to do that, would I be where I'm at now?
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't think so.
Yep.
That rising to the occasion.
I'm trying to get better at it. I was the baby in my family, so I to be honest, completely transparent and honest, I battle trying to convince myself that I'm not weak. To be honest, and the people that know me, I truly believe from my heart, the people that know me will be like, you ain't weak, bro. Like, you ask me one of the strongest niggas I know. I know that's the perception, but it's an individual thing when you can't feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you can't feel that type of power within yourself. And I just think that that's something that's really huge, because if you can't feel it, you can't project it to its maximum potential. Mm-hmm. What I'm blessed to understand is some of us have talent so much so, and God has blessed us so much with talent, that my 60% can look like a 97 to you. That's dope. That's dope. You know, a lot of celebrities, you know, we watch them perform, and then 10 years later, they talk about how that performance, like Deion Cole, shout out to Deion Cole, his Netflix performance, you know, he lost his mom.
Right.
And then he was already locked into a Netflix deal. And he had to go tape the day before he lost his mom. And then he had to do this shit that he was building, all this positive. And he killed it though.
He killed it.
That makes me take my hat off to somebody who could focus, because he generated laughs.
He was amazing. Like if you ain't seen Deion Cole on Netflix, like he's one of the best. Like shout out to Chicago.
Yo, he's one of the best.
One of the best. Love him.
That
and the Old Spice commercials too. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Old Spice. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
But rising to the occasion.
It's just amazing that, like you said, to be able to push through, like you said, it's something that's instilled in us as men, particularly as black men, to a fault, of course. Push through.
To a fault.
And that's led to the time and age that we are at now, where people are cracking. People are really being able to be transparent more about, like, you know, and I think my battle with feeling weak, my brother used to always, like, you weak as hell, Pac-Man. Anybody you know, my brother's OG, super rap. Everything was way harder shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, you like that R&B shit, Pac-Man. I like both, but he don't really fuck with no singing shit. He didn't at the time. But, you know, rest in peace to Big Bro. But, like, he would say that, and I remember as a kid how it made me feel. It made me want to show him I ain't weak.
Right.
It made me want to show him, like, you know what I mean? Like, nah, nigga, I'm opposite. But, like, at the same time, like, bro, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way, as long as you still try. As long as you still do it or try to go for what you're going for. To me, weakness is not even shooting a shot. Like I said, to me, weakness is being so afraid of failure that you don't even fucking shoot. You know, it's courage.
No, I agree with
shooting that motherfucker. We talked about that before. It's courage in pulling that bitch, though. It's courage in that. You know what I mean? And then you got to find it. You got to find your own courage by pulling that shit and missing and being like, okay, because, you know, you're going to hit a few. And
then it's like, as black men and just men in this society, like, we don't live in a society that's very tolerant of men being weak.
Yeah.
When you talk about toxic masculinity and just the depiction of it, and the examples of it, all of it is like this hyper powerful man,
right?
Ultra strong. You look at the movies and different things, even video games, like just hyper. You know, extreme masculinity, extreme version of what a man's power is supposed to look like and be. And it's like, man, we ain't meant to be Superman every single day.
That's why we need models, though. I think a lot of it comes from the fact that a lot of our moms has come up in single parent households, not them, but like raising us, black men. My mom, you know, I didn't grow up in the same house with my mom and dad. After about 7 years, they divorced. So I was forced to go through my true years of learning what the world is separately. And you get told from your mom, like, you know, get your ass up. Like, I didn't get the opportunity to be as vulnerable as I know I really am with my mom. I know that. And sometimes, like you said, it's perceived as weakness when you are.
Right.
But luckily on my end, I know my dad. That's why it's the aspect. My dad he came up with the complete opposite. We talked about this a little bit before, but he came up with, he probably ain't never heard his dad say he loves him more than one time. Maybe once on his deathbed or something like that.
Right.
So I can only imagine that, because my dad overdid it because of the lack of that he had.
Right.
So it's a certain balance. And a lot of us are growing up with our moms and not our dads, and we don't get to see the vulnerability. One of the people that really taught me outside of my father, one of the people from the internet that I stumbled upon, was my man Jason. I forgot his last name.
Jason Wilson. Out of Detroit.
Shout out to Jason Wilson, man. A few of his videos, they made me cry, dog, and I ain't no bitch ass nigga. No, because the little boy inside of me wished that I could have tapped in to what he was tapping into with those children, those little black boys. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up out in the country. I wasn't taught to fight. I wasn't taught to do none of that type of stuff and be basically when I moved into the city with my mom, I wasn't taught to be like that. I wasn't taught to put your hands on people. I wasn't taught that people would try to fuck with you and you got to teach their ass not to fuck with you.
Right.
I really wasn't taught that shit. But I was also out there. I'm a country boy. I ain't weak. I ain't slow. I like I'm quick as shit.
Right.
I probably could do more than you, but it's a mentality that's placed on that kind of individual and that entity. So I had to learn coming up that sometimes people just don't fucking like you, and you just got to make sure that they know that don't matter if you don't like me, just don't disrespect me.
Don't disrespect me.
I had to learn that type of shit, and through that process, me coming up as a kid, like, you know, I've been on the opposite side of being, oh, he hard. I've been on the more like, oh shit, is he afraid? Is it, you know what I'm saying? And I've witnessed that in many facets, you know what I'm saying? Like whether it be basketball or anything, like, but a lot of us aren't taught that from a male perspective, that you could be vulnerable and powerful at the same time.
And that's the way to say it.
That's what, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't taught that. My dad tried to make sure that I knew it was okay. But now as an adult, I can see that was to a fault too. Sometimes you should have pulled my ass to the side. Like, we about to teach you how to do this shit that you frustrated, that you can't learn, and we ain't leaving until you fucking do it. I wish I had a little bit more of that. And shout out to my dad, you know, because he did the best he could. And that's great. He was amazing. He still is amazing. But now as a grown man, I could look back and see, like, you know, I wish I had somebody like more like, you know, punch it harder. Punch it harder. You remember he was telling the kid couldn't break the fucking board.
Yeah.
He couldn't break the board. And to know at the end result that he broke the board, when you could see that he didn't believe that he could break the board, then you watch a kid break and cry. You know, my dad probably was like, it's okay, son. But he stayed and said, why are you upset? Why are you crying? And he pulled back those childish ass layers from responses a dumbass kid gonna give you. I'm playing. But he pulled back those layers so much so, not because, you know, we go, oh no, girls, you're yelling at me. So basically, I don't think I could do it. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of not being able to do. Like, that's the layer peeling of that shit is my shit. And I wish that I had a little bit more of that so I could push through. Like how you say, sometimes I'm 75, but I need the extra 25, and I can just blindly go through it. Yeah. My battle is sometimes I can't conjure it up. And I think it's to a fault, and I want to make sure that my son see me do both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Honestly, I don't have no problem saying that.
I think that's the delicate balance that we deal with as men. And shout out to Jason Wilson. I have his book. I think it's called something in regards to the battle within. You got to get that book. It's incredible because one of the things that he talks about is not just being a human being, but not just being a human doing, but we're human beings. Yeah. And we have to have the space to just exist. And to that conversation of being vulnerable and powerful at the same time, I think that's one of the delicate things that we have to balance as men. Because, I mean, our women need us to be both.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean?
So do our kids.
And so do our children. But we also have to be right within ourselves in order to maintain that duality, because we'll be vulnerable when we need to be powerful, and we'll be powerful when we need to be vulnerable. And when we get it wrong, the consequences are life-changing sometimes. Right. You know what I mean? It can be difficult to come back from those consequences.
It really can.
You know what I mean? So it's something that so many men have gotten wrong. You know what I mean? When we talk about our families, our fathers, grandfathers, the world they grew up in, there was no balance between the two. You were one or you were the other. Ain't no balance. You know what I mean? To that conversation of toxic masculinity, like that's in a way that's kind of what it deals with, that lack of duality, that lack of balance, that lack of not having two conflicting things existing in the exact same space. Right. I am vulnerable. I can be vulnerable, but at the same time, I am also powerful. Like, don't take this meekness as weakness.
Man, that's what I needed, you know? Man. I'm trying to get my son that. That's exactly what I needed, though, right there. You know what I mean? And at my age now, you know, like it just shows how important it is to see the balance. And do me a favor, look up the name of his book. We're not gonna disrespect it. Oh, for sure. I had just read it, I think, like 2 years ago. So I'm last foggy. Name again, Jason what? Jason Wilson. Something, The Battle Within. We got to give him his credit. Shout out to Detroit, the 313. Jason Wilson book. It'll come up. Oh, he got two. It's the latest one. Battle Cry. Waging and winning the war within. And then he also has one called Cry Like a Man. And I'm not here because people hear the word cry and they're like, oh, these bitch ass niggas. No, but no, real talk though, like vulnerability. My dad was cool with that. He was excellent with that, letting me know that it's okay to be vulnerable. Let me know, son, if you got to get yourself together, go ahead and do it. Just make sure you come back. And that's why I said it's a balance, man. Some of the spots he missed just came from the voice that he had, and he filled them with me. But I wish, I do understand the world is gonna be the world on you as you get older.
Right.
You're not gonna be that cute little kid. You're gonna be just this dude, and you're gonna be like some man on the news. You know what I'm saying?
And you have to be powerful.
Yeah, you have to know when to turn to hit the switch. Powerful, vulnerable. Powerful, vulnerable. And that duality in that battle within the black man is so difficult. Because sometimes niggas been so powerful, they're not even used to hearing their self. Their ears ain't used to hearing their voice speak vulnerability so much so that their demons and not the demons, but what haunts them about what society accepts for them or expects from them.
That self-talk
will suppress it even more, you know what I'm saying,
Yep.
while they're
That
talking
self-talk.
about it. And articulation is big. That's what my dad was big on. But that self-talk leaks into your articulation of how you really feel. And a lot of niggas, like I've known, like I always seem to attract, like when it comes to like men and dudes, people I get cool with, like people that fuck with me the most seem to be the people that would do all the shit I would never do. Like I know hood ass niggas, like niggas who came up in a way that I did not come up at all. Unfortunate as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Niggas that will like them ones, nigga. It could be shooters, nigga. It could be like it could be hustlers. It could be it could be just it don't really matter. It could be super aggressive niggas that'll beat your ass and everybody know. Like, please don't talk to him crazy. Like, I attract a lot of those people, and I think it's because of purely my articulation. Because when I'm talking to those type of niggas, like I'm not being like just talking about what they like to talk about. I talk about the fuck I like, but I make them understand. I understand where they from, and I always hear this phrase: "See, nigga, like you be saying that shit. I be thinking you just know how to say that shit, bro." That phrase right there is what I hear a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it lets me know. In my mind, I'm like, nigga, you just told me you just robbed, blah, 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 blah. But you feel me on that front? It lets me know, like, damn, we ain't so different.
We ain't so different.
It's about what we've learned, what we've been conditioned, and what we are. Because your hood ass love coming around me. I got to make sure that I ain't around you too much because I know you got tendencies. But at the same time, though, bro, I'm always here. And that connects with a lot of, I know a lot of niggas that are nothing like me. Like, nothing like me. I can't even put all my friends together in the same room because it gets weird. I've been the glue for a lot of relationships I had that introduced people to other people that they wouldn't have been in the same room with because I think I just attract that kind of different shit. But I think it's purely because of the vulnerability, though. I asked a nigga like, hey, man. Like, I asked my boy. This might sound crazy, but I got a friend from college that's like my boy. We never talked about his dad. Never. I know his mom and all that shit. I'm cool with everybody. I'm not the friend that's going to keep allowing as we get older to not know who the fuck you are in there. I was like, yo, man, so who's your dad, bro? And he looked like, and we've been friends for years, he kind of looked like, what? But in my mind, the way, when you look at me like that, I'm going to look back at you like, what? I am who I am to you. I've done this 1,000,000 times to you.
Right.
You've done this 1,000,000 times to me. That's not out of bounds.
Right.
I've introduced you to my father.
That's not a boundary that's getting crossed.
And I think that look, when I do that look, I think they be like, then they do this and then they speak. And then they speak. Now, Pat knows something about me that I don't tell motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's okay. I love truths.
It's okay.
I'm attracted to truths. I like to know all of that shit. And now, learning that information, I understand my bro so much more.
Right.
So much more. Why? That's why he be like, yo, I love when you do this like that. Because he probably had no inkling on how to even create that kind of environment or that kind of talk piece or that kind of energy in the room with people, like with opposite females or with dudes. Like, who knows? You know what I mean? We supposed to exchange that shit is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Just the plight of being black blood. Let's shift gears before we get out of here. I don't want to take too much. I want to talk about one of the last topic I want to talk about is solitude. When you spoke about that a little bit earlier, how much solitude do you require, and do you think as black men we deserve more?
How much do I require? I'll start with that.
Yeah, how much solitude do you require, and why? And do you think we deserve more?
To me, it's kind of a guilty pleasure. So when you talk about requirement, that's kind of difficult to answer because I do require a good amount of it. But it's also something that I enjoy because I've seen the benefits of it.
Comfy in that motherfucker too. Like, I'm a dip and I'm a dip for 2 weeks, nigga.
Because like it's a guilty pleasure for me. I'll just get lost in it and forget there's a whole entire world that's also happening. I got friends, I got relationships. I'm just like, does Tyler still exist?
Yeah.
Is he alive? Like,
I
people
did have to remember you again. I'm like, Tyler, where the hell you at?
like, is
So
Tyler,
what
is he still a person? Like, you know what I mean? Because I just be so lost in my own world. You know what I mean? So how much do I require?
How much do you think you require? If it's a whole pie of 10, how much?
I'm going to say 7.
Solid. That's bigger than most people.
I'm going to say 7. But it's also conditional or seasonal. It just kind of depends on what I'm going through at the time. If I'm on something creative, nigga, I say 10.
Right.
Leave me alone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I'm on my creative, if I'm in that, bro, leave me alone. Right. Do not text me. Don't call me. I don't know who you are. Like, when this is done with, what's good?
I want to speak to the future Tyler, because y'all all know that I'm a big advocate. I can't wait till Tyler, Tyler's still a bachelor out here, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, I ain't trying to get him out here and put him up for sale, but what I'm telling you, bro's a good dude, and I really cannot wait, since I'm deep into this relationship and this life that I've been having and shit. I know what it does to men. Bro, I can't wait to talk to future Tyler about that. This nigga said 7.
7.
I have a wife. I got 2 kids now. 6 and 2. Let me just say this. I think the level of solitude I require is a 7-2.
Really?
Oh, yes. The original me is 7'5", 8-ish.
Wow.
And I do big things for the 2 or the 3 left.
So let's put this in perspective.
So I'm saying that while I live like this.
Off top, you got a man with no kids, no girl, single, living his life.
Yep.
Who his guilty pleasure is solitude. Like, that nigga want to just be to
this
himself.
Nigga do disappear.
Like, and he'll literally, if he's working on a project, you not gonna see him.
Yep.
Like, he gonna be in his bag. You gonna want to chill with him. He gonna be like, bro, I'm focused on myself. You gonna want to be around him. Let's go get something to eat. Let's go get something to drink. You're like, I'm gonna get up with you next time. Like, hey, bro, it's this concert happening. Hey, I'm gonna catch it next time. Like, he really gonna be unavailable to you, right? And then you have a man who is married, who has multiple businesses, also has children, is a father, in school, saying that same number.
Same number. I know
7.
The real me. I was just telling Danny the other day, like, yo, and I hope she don't feel bad when I say this. And I asked her too at the time, so if she is, she just lied. But
off top.
I'm like, yo, living here with y'all.
We gotta get that off top button.
I mean, gotta be button, dog.
We gotta have that next episode. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
For real, because that's a level of like, no, go. You know what I'm saying? But like, truly though, I told her like, yo, living here with y'all in this house is showing me that it's so much more solitude that I'm naturally from. I have been so far off my game, it's affected my creativity. I mean, I'm dadding though, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I didn't know how much of myself that it minimizes. It minimizes so much of me that is originally where I am and where I naturally dwell. It minimizes it because I just told, of course, I'm a parent, but like, I've never raised my voice so much in my life. Now, some parents are going to get in here, you don't have to raise your voice. Yeah, okay. All right. You don't got to raise your voice. But sometimes you're going to have to raise your fucking voice. And with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old, I got to raise my voice at times to remind them of what the fuck I just said. Especially after the 4th time. I'm not the type that I'm not going to general parent that shit.
Right.
Because I'm going to general parent first. Then I'll try again. And I'll try a little bit more. After that, though, fam, yo, pick that shit up.
Right.
Son, I told you already. And I just told Danny, like, I am a level that I'm operating on a frequency that's not really true to me. And that affects how I dip into creativity. It affects how long it takes for me to get from here back up. It affects
everything.
It affects how I talk to you. If I'm already irritated and you've been holding it down and you've been working that day and I'm at the crib because I don't got no sessions or nothing like that, and I'm a little annoyed, blah, 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 you can come in the house. My first thought is, hey, baby, it's like this. As soon as you open the door, it's like, yeah, while I'm doing what the fuck I'm doing, finally, somebody else can go ahead. It's just like that. And just that duality. And it's showing me how much solitude I naturally yearn for. I wish that there was a way. This will never happen. But I wish that there was a way for me to be able to take at least a week off. All parents will probably feel that. Y'all probably feel that. Of course, we typically can't unless the other parent lives somewhere else and you go send them off and you get that. So I do know niggas who got that situation, and that's dope. But at the same time, you lose all the lovey-dovey shit that they are doing and about the kid. It's time, But in true fashion, I truly wish that there was a world in which I could get that much time of solitude so I can recharge my battery enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, 7, because that's where I come from. I've had to cut it down. My solitude time is like 3 or 2. So it's hard for me to squeeze in everything I need within a 2 or 3.
Right.
When I'm typically aiming for a 7 or at least a 6. Like, for real. And it's difficult. You know what I mean? It can change who you are, especially if the duration is too long. That's why it's important to learn how to communicate with your kids, with your family, whatever it takes your attention away.
Right.
Because when you say that, like I said, I want to talk to Future Tyler, because Future Tyler, when he gets when he get wifey type or somebody serious that's going, just a woman alone outside of a child, a woman alone that you're serious with is going to alter that availability, that chunk of time availability.
Yeah.
And maybe not as much in the beginning, because I know through the phases of life, in the beginning, she gonna want to show you, I respect what you do. I'm on your team. But after y'all get over that little honeymoon stupid shit that takes about 2.5, 3 years, she'll start telling you, I really wish you wouldn't go.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing about sharing lives with somebody is that there's only 24 hours in a day. Yeah. Regardless of how y'all feel about each other, y'all don't get no extra time because y'all combine 2 lives. You don't get 48 hours because you got your life and they got their life. No, it's still 24, right? Yeah. And it's what schedule are they on? How much time do they have available versus the time you got available? And is it cohesive?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does it actually create that space to have some solitude or not? It's a tricky thing to figure out. I guess I find myself thinking about that, the concept of generally sharing 2 lives and combining them together, because we only have 24 hours a day. We only have 7 days a week.
Yeah, my level of focus has been attacked. I'm already not the best focuser. I can wander. I told you I can do that. But typically I've had enough isolation time to where that's okay, because I've had enough time to wander. Then I have enough time for myself naturally to pull myself down. Come back here, finish this stuff.
Right.
But when you got kids in life, it's harder. So you have to recondition yourself and reprogram yourself on how you're going to get that time, especially when you've already identified that time is required.
Right.
Within myself.
Right.
But that's all I really had, man. I ain't really had too much more after that. Just the speaking of alone time and solitude and how much you require.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wrap this thing up, and you got any last remarks at all?
No, I forgot, but we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Because you're coming back. Episode 6 coming soon off top.
We gonna have a button next time, off top.
What it is, nigga. Put the button out, nigga.
We gotta have a button. Like,
I'm gonna go drink the rest of this green matcha tashi and we gonna
we'll mess around and have 2 buttons next time. Like,
yeah, man. Yo, make sure y'all subscribe, follow the pages. We're gonna have more and more OffTop Pod content coming everywhere. All social media is coming soon. So just stay on the lookout, yo. And just remember, while y'all out there living this life, stay transparent. Stay you, do you. Off top.
Peace.
Understand it's all planning. As a man, I can't give in. Nevertheless, I'm going on and on. I've been thinking, yes, I understand it's all planning. As a man, I can't give in. Nevertheless, I'm going on and on. I've been thinking maybe I deserve it. Maybe I do. I deserve it. Maybe I do.